This is a book review of Here Comes Daredevil, The Man Without Fear. This is volume 1 of the Epic Collection, and it's got Lee, Wood and Romita, which is really quite sad because Everett was involved in the first issue, Bill Everett. This is volume 1 with 1964 to 66 and includes Daredevil 1 to 21. So what does it include? Obviously it's got lots of great ones. Stan Lee, Bill Everett, Joe Orlando, Wallace Wood, John Romita, Gene Colan, and then you've got Foggy Nelson, Karen Page, as well as classic villains, the Owl, Purple Man, Stiltman, and the Gladiator, and quite a few actually. So Purple Man, of course, Killgrave. You've got the content section, and then you go to Daredevil 1, brilliant cover, iconic cover. Origin of Daredevil, brilliant Bill Everett work. You've got where he obviously becomes blind because of a radioactive canister. And just brilliant artwork. And it's all set in boxing, the boxing world, the Fixer, which is quite, obviously a lot later. There was a lot more stories around things like boxing. You obviously had the TV series as well. There was lots of boxing elements of there. And it's just a great story. Go on to Electro, that's the next one, issue 2. I love this one. This is unusual, of course, Electro being from Spider-Man. And you've got Joe Orlando's work. Of course, he did EC Comics. And this is a brilliant one. Brilliant start with the Fantastic Four. And you've got Daredevil fighting a whole load of gangs. But of course, faces Electro. Electro's a bit more of an evil menace. Not these particularly brilliant. I love that he goes and steals some stuff. As he would. The Owl, the next issue. Now, the Owl turned up later in the end of this book as well. But the Owl here, obviously Joe Orlando, Vince Colletta's work, looks pretty evil guy. And he's got various nefarious plans. And he can fly as well, sort of, with his cape. So you've got Daredevil there. And you've got brilliant Purple Man in the next issue. I love this story. Brilliant story. Of course, David Tennant did the superb Purple Man in the Netflix series, which I loved. Loved that story. Wasn't in Daredevil, of course, it's Jessica Jones. But anyway, it's all part of the same. Netflix, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist universe defenders. I would love to see more of those, but of course the series of Hall sort of stopped at the moment. So you've got a brilliant story there. Onto the Master Matador. The mysterious Master Matador. He loved those long titles. And this is Wallace Wood. Obviously joined. Brilliant. Loved Wallace Wood's, Wally Wood's. Wally Wood's brilliant artwork. Of course, EC Comics, Tower Comics. And this one's brilliant. Got this issue. Bought it fairly recently. Very, very cheap. Because it was slightly had a few bits cut out of it. But my God, what a brilliant comic all the same. Love these pin-ups. They've got pin-ups here. So you've got the Daredevil in his good old yellow and black and red. And you've got the Fellowship of Fear. When you've got the Ox, as well as the Eel. And pretty good. The Mr. Fear is a great scene when he's in a sort of waxwork museum. It's good. Good story. Classic next afterwards. It's got issue 7. You've got The Man Without Fear against Daredevil battles Submariner. Got in Mortal Kombat. And a classic, absolute classic with him battling. Completely unequal battle, but still he holds his own. Stiltman cometh. Never a fan of Stiltman because it made no sense to me. How he would have so much metal, he could expand so much. Totally baffling. What was the material made of? Probably Adminton, something stupid. Super weightlessness. Just made that one up. And then you've got Daredevil trying to regain his sight, that he may see. Because, of course, being he can't see. Oh, you know how the story ends. Then you've got a similar story to one that was earlier. But this one is The Organizer. They did a couple of these stories. So you've got The Organizer. And Organizer again. There's 2 stories of that. Brilliant artwork. Of course, the artwork's changed now because you've got into Sightless in a Savage Land. And it's this one's Jack Kirby and John Romita. So Jack Kirby did the layouts. Lord Plunderer. Of course, Kazar was in the X-Men, early X-Men issue. You got the Kazar origin there, and you got these two pieces. If There Be Justice, you got again still more of the Kazar story. It went on for quite a while. Then you got the Ox. So you got the Ox, and this scientist wants to swap his brain with Ox. You can see that is just going to be a recipe for disaster. Be like, oh yes, you know what, I'll do it with the Hulk as well. That's just going to work. You know it's not. Anyway, it's a good story. And you've got another story that's fairly, there's a lot of similarity to these stories. None are so blind. You've got Spider-Man in the story as well, which is really good. Spider-Man battling Daredevil. The Ringmaster. Obviously, he's not in it, but you've also got Fear. He's got this guy, he's got his Mr. Fear, where he blasts me with his Octoblast. There Shall Come a Gladiator. Brilliant one by Romita again. And you've got this lovely foggy scene. So you've got a foggy scene here. That's There Shall Come a Gladiator. The old Foggy going into try out a costume. Obviously, he wants to become Daredevil to impress Karen. And he's a bit on the slightly large size. Gladiator story, but beautiful artwork. I love this. Just absolute classic. John Romita again. John Romita. And you got Mr. Fear, the Owl. Now the Owl one, that goes into Gene Colan. And that's classic. Just classic as well. And all the way through, and that's it. So this book, how many pages? About 450, 460 pages of really brilliant artwork, brilliant stories as well. And there's also some bonus material at the back. You've got some t-shirt arts. You've also got Plunderer character design by Jack Kirby. I'm glad he didn't go with that one. That would have been a silly costume. However, Daredevil tryout page by Dick Ayers as well, which weirdly has got him looking like he's back in the Hulk, but it isn't. He's got a boxing scene as well as a pirate ship. Interesting. Unused layouts by Jack Kirby. That's because of Kazar story. Unused layout by Jack Kirby. Another one. And some other artwork at the back. What a brilliant book. Love it. Epic Collection, Volume 1.